At a secluded mansion deep in the heart of the English countryside, 12 recruits began a crash course in espionage based on the secret instruction of the CIA, the KGB, MI6.
To be a spy, you have to learn the trade.
A team of spy trainers, all professionals in the field, and specialists from the undercover forces have been putting them through their paces and monitoring their progress. Now only 8 of the original 12 remain.
It's a very steep learning curve. It's giving you a good idea of what's expected of you.
Pushing yourself, doing things that you just really wouldn't normally be doing.
I'm also very strongly aware that there's going to be people removed, if you don't come up with the mark. And I don't want to be the first one to go, I don't want to go.
And I want to do this to the end. What they want is to be part of the final team of 4. A spy team that will carry out an international mission. Now the 8 remaining recruits are ready to begin stage 3 of their training. They have just 48 hours left to prove they have what it takes to operate as a secret agent in the field. The modern-day spy functions in an unpredictable and dangerous world. One of terrorists and volatile governments. And they can find themselves in risky situations that they have to get out of fast. As seen in countless Bond movies, our recruits are being instructed on how to use the vehicle effectively to escape a life-threatening situation.
You're going to up the pace a little bit and get them in the vehicles doing anti-ambush car drills and get them doing some advanced driving skills. These are 2 skills they're going to need if they ever become agents, become covert operators in a hostile environment.
Tuck it over, identify the threat, it's there, it's coming up behind us, we'll speed. Okay? And that's basically it.
So you do that and then let it come back. And try and keep your hand in contact with the steering wheel, because obviously you've got a full lock, you're bringing it back to straight, bring it back again.
Evasive driving is vital training for agents operating in high-risk environments. Roads and border crossings are often compromised, and a car as well as an agent can make an easy target. Our recruits are being taught the skills required to execute precision, high-speed handbrake turns and J-turns by the experts.
So what I want you to do first is just try and reverse in a straight line faster than 5 miles an hour. Happy with that? Yeah. Don't forget, keep looking straight ahead. If you're going to use mirrors, you've got to use all 3.
A J-turn is a reverse evasive driving technique. It applies when there is no way through or around a threat. 33-year-old Steve Feasey is discovering how difficult it is to get it right first time.
Don't touch any pedals, right? Wait till the car's rotated. Right, there you go. Nice and. Right, steer there, steer. What you got to do, wait till the car's rotated, and then, because what you did, you drop the clutch and the car is still driving, don't you? Rotate it, steer. Good boy, well done. Alright? How's the heart rate? Going a bit.
Start building your speed up.
Steve Hart is attempting the more commonly executed handbrake turn.
Mirror check, grip hands in throw, apply the handbrake. Brilliant. How about that? How do you feel about that? Yeah? You're ready.
Nerve-wracking. It was just, it's quite scary stuff. Everything to think about all at the same time. You're turning, you're coming off the accelerator, you're dropping the clutch, you're trying to find the first, bringing the car back round, and then going off in the other direction. It's just a lot of stuff to make your body and your head do all at the same time.
Immediately start building your speed up, mirror check, identify the threat, first, second hand position. Okay. First, second hand position, first, second hand position, mirror check, okay,
Excellent. Yes. I can up and down there all day long. Give me a faster car there. Where's my Aston turning up?
You're right. You're right. The important thing, though, which way are we pointing? Pretty much
Julie and the rest of the recruits are learning this is not exhibition driving. These are skills taught so agents know how to respond if they come under attack while driving or need to avoid surveillance. After 4 hours in the driving seat, the recruits think they know what it takes to get out of a bad situation. But the spy trainers have some tricky decisions to make.
Again, Alistair, very good.
Yeah, Alistair. He's
This is going to be really difficult because I think there's probably 6 of them who would make a good team, and we have to make 4. So it's going to be quite hard.
From day one, they have been constantly watched and evaluated.
We're trying to assess whether they could fit into a group and also if they can operate as an individual. What makes a good spy? Intellect, courage, stamina, the ability to manipulate others, to be devious, to lie, to cheat. In the spy game, it's really what gets the information, what gets results is what we're looking for.
Who makes it hinges on how they perform over the next 36 hours. Spies must be able to operate in every kind of environment, be it Bosnia, Beirut, or Belfast.
This is a scenario. You've left your team, you have to walk down a street, which is, you'll clearly see it's a street when you get out there. Walk down the street, observe what's on the back seat of the red Bora. Just look at it. That's the information you need to collect. So simply, you're walking through a really badass area full of scum, terrorist filth. Get in there, get the information, and get out with as least fuss as possible. Okay?
For this exercise, each recruit will be given a weapon. It's up to them if and when they choose to use it.
One of the reasons for doing this kind of training is that most agents work in hostile environments, either hostile environments in another country or hostile environments in their own country. Therefore, you need to be prepared for such a case.
Know anything with car engines at all?
No, sorry, mate. Not a lot at all. No, I don't know anything about cars, I'm afraid.
You can do us a favour and phone a garage or something, could you?
No mobile phone on me, I'm afraid, either.
Excuse mate. Excuse mate, what's wrong, yeah?
Yeah, it's 9:30.
Okay, where you going? Where you going anyway?
I'm just going to meet some friends at the top of the road, okay?
Who are they? Who are they?
Just some mates from school.
I know quite a few people around here. Just give me some names or something.
Why do I know?
Well, I just want to know. Just right. You don't need to get funny about it. You know what I mean? Just asking a question.
Look, guys, don't really bother, okay?
Just asking a question.
Look, I haven't got anything, okay? Look, I don't know who you guys are, but look, I'm just...
Where's your meet?
He just lives up here. I'm in the wrong area for some reason. Like, I just want to get through and, you know...
You can't get through. Can't get through.
Okay, where would you like me to go then?
Well, where do you want to go?
Well, I'd like to go somewhere where you guys aren't pushing me around, yeah?
Okay, well, let's go here, baby. We want to go.
Okay, where would you like me to go?
Okay, we want you to come to a pub with us. You want to come to a pub?
No, not really. Look.
Why not? Why not?
Funny about it and all that.
You guys, yeah.
Come on, entertain.
I've got shooter. Got shooter. Got shooter. Got it? Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, you've done well, yeah? You've done actually all right then, even though you did get bundled in the end and you've probably gone off to be made into mincemeat or something. The actual, as part of the exercise, you were doing all right because you're like, back off, mate, back off, and that was the best thing you'd done. Yeah, back off, you were acting like them, like locals, bit rough, bit of a lad. But the thing is, as soon as Terry approached you were still talking to him. Terry could have been doing anything.
Yeah,
he was
I was aware that somebody was coming on this side as well, so I just kind of...
Yeah, so what you should have started doing then was making a decision. Am I going to run back to the team? Am I going to get this information? Is it worth it? Situation awareness, or leg it, yeah? How do you feel?
Yeah, a bit shaken, actually. Yeah, it was... Yeah. As I didn't know how far it was going to develop. So, yeah, it's difficult really, and it was a very, very difficult situation because suddenly you're surrounded by very aggressive people, and it was... I certainly wasn't going to draw that gun. I certainly was not going to draw that gun because I just thought, if I do anything like that, I'm just going to get badly messed up or killed.
Human beings have this inbuilt fear of other human beings.
Stay calm, get the information and get out. These are not friendly locals, yeah?
So just don't... Cheers.
Excuse me, mate. You know anything about car engines at all?
Sorry, mate, I don't know.
Could you do us a favour and phone a garage or something for us?
Can't, mate. I just... Hey?
What's on, please? What's on?
Sorry, mate, it's 3:15, mate.
Can you just phone a garage or something for us?
I haven't got a mobile phone on me, mate.
Sorry,
mate. Somebody else will be coming along.
Wait, where are you going?
I'm just going back to the hotel.
Hey? Where are you going?
I'm just going back down to the church. Have a look at the church.
What for?
The church, just go and check it.
You don't get tourists around here. We don't get tourists around here, mate.
I am a...
We don't get tourists around here, mate. You're not car.
Back off.
Okay, mate. Go on. Anyone else, go on. Well done.
Okay.
Alistair, that was good.
Good, well done.
Well done, mate. Very good.
Okay, it started off a bit shaky, and I thought you were going to start chatting to the locals and hanging around. The more pressure you had, the better you operated. Okay, until the end, when you were surrounded by all these blokes, you then drew your weapon, and you done it well, and then you back off, and you kept moving out, whilst threatening them, and they took the threat seriously, and you managed to get out.
Right.
You didn't get the information, did you?
I got a number plate, NV51 over. But they were all around me, there was no way I could have gotten to the car and got out again, so just better get out.
It may look like role play, but the motivation behind training like this is deadly serious. How an agent reacts on the street can determine if they live or die. As part of the final stage of training, the recruits will have to face up to some very unpleasant aspects of the spying game.
Your mission is to assassinate this man.
Spy trainer Rydian Bridge is playing the role of the target. The recruits will be using BB guns. These will not inflict injury, but it will be obvious if the target is hit.
At grid reference 160-332, you will find a weapons cache. One team is to retrieve these weapons, while the other team is to confirm that the target is in his normal haunt, which is the Bell Inn in Morton-on-the-Marsh. And when the target leaves the Bell Inn, you are to follow him and assassinate him between the pub and his home. He normally leaves around 10 p.m, walks northwards through the village. His house is approximately 500 to 600 metres up the Batsford Road, and I want him dead. Let's go.
Let's do it. You know the plan. Stick to it.
At 2100 hours, the recruits begin the exercise. Gary and Steve are responsible for uncovering the weapons cache. Against all the rules of covert operations, Gary is wearing passive night vision goggles while travelling. As briefed, Susan and Steve, the advanced surveillance team, eyeball the target at the local pub.
He's sitting there by himself at the moment.
Is he?
Yeah. Right, we need to establish what door you can get out of, and just cover that door.
Yep.
Here it is.
Let's go.
Now all they have to do is find the guns using the night vision goggles. Once found, they must then pass them on to the assassination team before the target leaves the pub.
We've established he's in here, right?
We need to establish he can't get over here. I think he likes staying that way.
Gary finally makes it to the weapons handover, and Robin and Alistair, the assassination team, can take position.
Here. And run through that gate that you see walks through. Finger fire and see if he legs it, I can take him out.
Alternative.
That tree.
That tree there.
Yeah.
But what I need is a signal to know he's there.
Hotel, this is Oscar. The target has left the pub. The target has left the pub.
Right, I'm back to my again.
The recruits now have less than 24 hours to prove themselves. Only 4 will make the final team.
Oscar, this is Hotel. The target has left the pub. Do you receive this?
Alistair. Alistair. Yeah. Action's on. Cock your weapon.
Yeah.
Target is getting into a car. Target is getting into a car. Target is getting into the car.
Oscar, this is Hotel. The target is getting into...
Suddenly there is a problem with the comms. Having lost communications, the assassination team are unaware that the target is no longer returning on foot as expected.
I'm going to wait until he's just within my line of sight as I stand here. I have my weapon cocked. I'll release to safety. I'll stand up. I'll fire off 2 rounds.
Trying the radio all the time.
Oscar, this is Hotel. The target has left the pub. Is now in a vehicle. Mondeo. Do you receive?
Hotel, Oscar, message totally unreadable. 2 clicks if target is en route. Oscar out.
Trying the radio again.
Oscar, this is Hotel. Do you receive?
Nice message.
I've just had something from them. It was very muffled.
Okay, radio again, radio again. Target is in vehicle. Relay the information.
Oscar, this is Hotel. We are in pursuit of the target.
Hotel, this is Oscar. Pass your message over.
Not too fast, not too fast. Target is indicating left.
Target
is indicating left.
Towards Ransom Hall.
Okay, hang back and we're taking left. Hang back.
The assassination team was still acting on the assumption the target would be on foot. With the loss of comms, they were unaware they used a vehicle.
We didn't have a contingency plan.
Having set themselves up 500 meters from the house, the assassination team had no way of taking him out.
You had 2 pieces of information you could really rely on. Where the weapons were, and you achieved that, no problem. Where the target was, and you located the person. But then you went on the assumption that he was going to go on foot. You cannot kill an assumption.
I think from our point of view as a team, with or without the loss of comms, once the target went mobile with another person, we would have called off what we were doing anyway and gone back tomorrow night or the next night or the next night. Yep. Just simply in the fact that we'd gone from our parameters of taking down one person on a dark road who would drag the body off the road to possibly taking out a target plus an innocent and then having the problem of possibly a bullet-ridden car.
You're quite right. Live to fight another day. But the thing you should have done was not work on the assumption. You should have gone back and confirmed with these people. Right, in you go.
The exercise is over, but the fallout will continue. And the next 12 hours are not about to get any easier.
Okay, the aim of today's trip to the seaside is to introduce the students to one of the methods they might use to infiltrate or exfiltrate themselves out of a hostile environment, or even any country where they can't go in through regular means.
The recruits will learn how to make dangerous boat-to-boat transfers on open water.
The sea is one of the few ways of accessing a country whereby it is still possible to avoid being detected by radar, and a lot of countries have very long, quiet, secluded coastlines, and people spend a lot of time, even at peacetime, checking out areas where you could clandestinely land or remove agents from hostile countries.
But first, the recruits have to master the safety drills. And for Gary, a keen sailor, this part of the course should be easy. Susan, however, is less enthusiastic about what's in store.
I'm not a good swimmer, so I would be slightly apprehensive about being in water, but I don't get intimidated easily. I wouldn't back away from it. Generally, I plough in with both feet.
Even if you're a confident swimmer, this is still a challenge.
1 okay.
2 okay.
3 okay. 4 okay. 5 okay.
The capsize drills alone are daunting
Line
enough.
up onto the tube. Here's what we do. We're going to grab this line, sling it up over. Put your hand underneath the boat. Fill the air pocket, okay?
Yeah.
And 3 are going to go under.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, are you ready then? Okay. Lean back. Lean back. Lean. 1 okay.
2 okay.
3 okay. 4 okay. 5 okay. Go. 1 okay.
Okay.
3 okay. 4 okay.
Imagine doing it at night when you haven't expected it and everybody's a bit shocked they've gone in the water. Maybe the water's 10 degrees colder. So it's one of those little drills that you have to get right so that when things are going seriously wrong, you can do it.
1 okay. 2 okay. 3 okay.
4 okay.
5 okay.
The moment of truth for Susan. A weak swimmer, she only just got through the swim test in the selection weekend. But this is the open sea, and there's no rope to cling on to.
Nice and clear, loud voice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make way around the back and front.
Sling it up over.
Right, now we're going to go under. Put your left hand under, right hand under. Fill the air pocket. Go. And under.
It's a nice smooth drill, guys. Ask him.
2 okay. Okay. When you're ready then, stand up. Okay.
Watch out, she's under the boat, she's under the boat.
Susan is caught under the upturned boat.
You all right, Susan? Well, that was a very impressive effort by Susan. She's got through this course doing this. We had when we were doing the selection, she went into the water obstacle and she did a really good job. And there, absolute classic, she got caught under the boat, but she's come up happy and smiling.
I gave it a go. Well, it's not my fault. Not my fault. Well, I'm glad I gave it a go.
I never cease to be impressed. She's done very well. She has to do it to continue with the course, and she's got on with it. So I'm very impressed with the sort of courage and determination she's shown. She's doing a good job.
Having mastered the capsize drills, the recruits are ready to move on to the more hazardous boat-to-boat transfers.
Hey guys, the reason why you're doing this is that you may well be picked up by a clandestine covert vessel, which could be anything like a fishing boat in Northern Europe, Mediterranean, or a junk in the Far East, or a dhow in the Gulf of Arabia or some area like that. These small rubber boats can go underneath radar cover. In reasonable waves, you can't pick them up. Whereas something like this that you want to get onto that's taking you further on, if it stops, the authorities, the Coast Guard or the Navy watching it will want to know why it stopped. But if it keeps moving at night, they can't necessarily work out that you've got on board. So that's why you want to practice these transfer drills. But it is a dangerous operation. It's something you've got to be aware of, and it requires a great deal of skill on the part of the boat driver or the coxswain to keep it in position.
The inflatable races towards the transfer vessel at 16 knots, approximately 20 miles per hour. The sea proves too rough on the port side of the boat. An approach has to be made on the starboard.
Guys, you want to get off? Get on that one.
The real danger is if the recruits fall between the inflatable and the transfer vessel into the water and get caught by either propeller.
These are very useful and important skills, and they need to understand what they might come up against, because they may not do this again until they're doing it for real.
After 12 hours at sea, it's time to pack up the kit. It's been a rough day that some have enjoyed more than others.
Little boats and big water isn't my big thing. Just never has rocked my boat or anything. But I'll get on it, I'll do what I have to do, and then thanks very much.
This is kind of my bag. This is home sweet home, so I'm delighted to have done this today. It's good, very different and deadly. Super.
Midnight. After a long day, they're back at the spy school. In little over 10 hours, they'll know who's made it to the final team. But they must face one last test.
Okay, the exercise we've given our recruits tonight is to come into this pitch black hallway and to negotiate booby traps. And off this hallway is several rooms, or 3 in total. Each room also has booby traps. Also, we have breakaway glass in several positions. In one of the rooms is an item that they have to retrieve. In the corner, we place the item, which is known as decoy dolly, and to make it harder, we place the sheet of breakaway glass. So when they lift the item, the glass will break. Bearing in mind, it's pitch black. They can't see anything, so they have to rely on other senses.
The pitch black hallway is rigged with infrared cameras. The recruits won't be able to see a thing, but the cameras will allow spy trainer Terry Rigglesford to monitor their progress from the operations room.
We're not looking for individuals. What we're looking for is how they work as a team. You can go first, Carl.
Each group of 4 will have 20 minutes.
Okay, corridor, 2 metres wide. Wait, stand.
Right.
Tripwire.
Okay.
Right. Alison, come to me.
Okay. Right in front of you.
Just stop. I'm taking your hand down to it. Okay, feel?
Feel it, got it.
Step up, step over and step to the left.
Okay, well.
Well, that's that gone. Okay, now move on a bit faster.
Where you'd be involved in this sort of thing is if you had to carry out method of entry into a building to retrieve information or intelligence, where you couldn't use light, where there's alarm systems.
Stay still. Stay still.
Okay.
Just don't move.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm going to lift it, and that's now we've got tension on it. Any further than that, and it'll go off. Okay, so get underneath it.
There's no point on paying them, which confusing.
Where are you, Jonathan?
I am standing
talk to me.
Tripwire. I'm
Yeah,
standing
okay.
at the
I've got the bed
in the
frame.
centre of the room.
Got the bed frame.
I've still got the tripwire in my hand.
One of them's looking at his time, more worried about the time than actually feeding for any tripwires.
Come on, guys, time check.
Where's the door then?
I've got the door.
You got the door?
I've got the door jammed.
Okay.
We're moving out.
We're moving out.
There's a tripwire right here.
Yeah, I'm here as well.
Okay,
There's a
there's a
tripwire.
tripwire. Get down
Come
under.
Although this is a team exercise, Robin is taking the lead.
Right, guys, come with me. We've got another door on the right. We have another tripwire up ahead.
Right, what, in the corridor again?
Yeah, in the corridor. It's on the floor.
Okay.
Okay, are you happy to search that?
Immediately out the
Okay.
I think we need to move on to the next one.
Well, I just want to locate this tripwire. I'm trying to get out alive.
Yeah, that's true.
There's something on the floor in the middle of the room. Don't step on it. If I have my hand on an obstacle, it appears to be glass or perspex. I would imagine it's a tripwire.
Easy, just relax. That's it, that's my toe.
Okay.
Okay? I want you to step high left, over and on. Okay, beyond your right foot, okay?
Okay. Okay, I'm here.
Okay, step up.
Yeah.
Big step over like you're going over something.
Wait.
Feel this.
There's nothing here.
Feel this.
There's not what?
It's got tape and all sorts of shit on it. Don't kick it.
Guys, you search that room?
Yeah, room's clear.
Okay. We're going to have to search this one. Get down on your hands and knees.
You sure there's not one there on the
Yes,
floor?
there is one on the floor.
Right.
So we've got 2 tripwires on this next door. Okay. Let's get over this first. Alistair.
It looks like Jonathan is getting very close to that tripwire there.
Turn right round, turn right round, turn right round.
Yeah. Okay.
There's one in the doorway.
Is there one in the doorway?
And there's one immediately low.
Okay, I've got the doorway.
Where did it go? What's that one? Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, okay, I know where I'm going.
Okay, I'm keeping safety out. Yeah, you're alright.
Yeah, fine.
Right, low's gone.
Low's gone?
That's good. Just get down, get in.
He's trying to get some vision back.
Yeah, I know.
I'm in. I'm moving forward, just checking the trips. Whoa, another tripwire. Wait.
Whereabouts?
Oh, it's our left. Lovely. I've got it.
Right, where is it going?
Okay. Right.
I have the soft toy.
Right, okay. So guys, we need to hustle here.
So we have another tripwire to get up. Oh!
Right, that's going off. Come on, come to the door, stay low. Okay, we've got one more to cross.
Keep talking to me, Rob, I don't know where you are.
Come right in.
Yeah.
Walk forward, okay? Whatever you do, just walk forward very gently. Keep your feet high, go on, you've got a door ahead of you, get up to the door. Jonathan, get right behind them.
I'm on Steve's pet. I'm right behind him.
Okay, out the door.
Yeah, got it.
Right, knock on the door.
Told you should have had them carrots for dinner.
In the real world, terrorists booby-trap rooms with explosives. Robin, Alistair, Jonathan and Steve would now be dead.
How was it?
Yeah.
Chaotic.
You don't look happy, Robbie. We did alright. We could have done a lot better. We did alright. Went wrong.
Too many people trying to organise it. Too much talking. Not enough directions.
3 trip flares I don't think is actually that bad. Just comparative.
Did you do any glass?
Yeah, tons. Yeah.
But you never said.
The house of mirrors in there, it was.
3 tripwires, all the breakaway glass, and 90 seconds over the 20-minute time limit. The second group fared no better, making slow progress through the booby traps. They were out of luck and out of time before they cleared the first room.
What they should have done is split up from the beginning and started moving around on opposite sides of the corridors, finding rooms, moving into rooms one at a time. So they've wasted a lot of time moving around in a 4-man team.
This apparently simple exercise is in fact one of the hardest. Not everyone has performed as they would have hoped, and that may well have jeopardized their chances of making the final team. At 2 a.m, the day is finally over. So is this last test of nerves. It's been 2 days of mixed emotions. Tomorrow morning is crunch time. The spy trainers will decide who will make the final team of 4. Dawn, the last day of training.
On your toes now with it, on your toes, keep hopping round on your toes.
In just a few hours, the decision will be made on who has been selected for the operations team. But today starts like any other, and the recruits have no idea exactly when and where the axe will fall.
Advance, let's go.
It was a very difficult decision to make. All done very well. However, we actually need the skills of 4 individuals for an operation we're going to do in Iceland. Can you just line up there, please, where you were when you came in?
Out of the original 12 recruits, only 8 made it through this stage. Now it's time to find out who has been selected.
Now for the bad news. There's an old cliche, oh, you've all done very well, but you've been very good. You've proved me wrong, all of you. Okay, you've been excellent.
10 days ago, they walked away from their normal life, left behind their identity and ceased communication with everyone who knew them, putting their life on hold to immerse themselves in the world of the secret agent. All of them had high hopes of going the distance and making the final team of 4.
I don't handle failure very well at all. I'm quite competitive. I'm a bit of a go-getter.
Contact!
And if I do fall by the wayside, I'm not going to be particularly happy at all.
I can be a bit domineering.
Come on, move.
I
I can be a bit too loud sometimes, and occasionally, very, very occasionally, I tend to think that my idea's the best and get a little bit of a huff.
I want to try and be stubborn and determined.
I know that I'll be able to deal with just about everything that comes up. And if I can't deal with it, I don't need to worry about it, because it'll probably kill me.
If you fail, you fail. You know, it's nothing to be worried about. You know, you come back and you do it again.
I don't like losing. It's just a trait that I've got.
What's going to happen if I sign that form?
If I don't get through, that's fair enough, but at least I stepped up to the plate and had a go.
I'll go out there and I will do my best, and I expect to succeed.
Back off.
After 10 days intense training, finally the spy trainer's decision.
And these four, if you please go into the lounge. Steve Hart, Susan Martin, Steve Feasy, Alison Ewing. Sorry guys, no reflection on your personal attributes. I think you've been very, very good. I think you've been excellent.
Out go Robin, Julie, Gary and Jonathan.
Really disappointed to not be doing the last trip. I thought I could have been there.
It would have been great to get through. But I also feel very pleased that I even got this far.
Obviously disappointed, you know, walking away early from something that's never particularly good. Delighted to have been here, delighted to have met and been part of this group.
From my point of view, we're all part of each other. I mean, there's a little bit of us and them, and there's a little bit of them and us. So this has been a team building exercise. We've built up the team as a group, and now part of that group is going to go and fulfil the mission.
The files are closed on 4. The final team has been selected. For them, the training is over.
We've chosen what we feel are the best people. Susan in particular is very strong on leadership.
Delighted to be picked. Very excited about the mission.
Steve Feasy, I thought was excellent. I liked his aggression.
They've put together a great team. I mean, they've obviously picked the 4 people they think can go ahead and do it, and now it's just a matter of proving everybody right, really.
We have an intellectual in Alistair.
It's time to put those hours and days and weeks into practice and do the job.
I think the one that will hold them all together is Steve Hart. He's got the age, maturity and everything else like that.
Well, I'm actually quite looking forward to it. I think all 4 of us are. So we're just ready to go, ready to roll, and can't wait to get over there and get stuck in, really.
Their destination is Reykjavik. Their mission is dangerous. They have 72 hours to complete it, and they've got to go it alone. Now, do they have what it takes?
And it's the final episode of SPYMASTER.